Welcome back, car enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the world of automotive disasters. Buckle up as we explore the top 5 worst cars ever made. We're talking about vehicles so poorly conceived, so riddled with flaws, that their very existence is a testament to the occasional missteps of the automotive industry. From laughable designs to downright dangerous engineering, these cars left a stain on automotive history. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. First up, we have a true legend of automotive infamy, the Yugo GV. This little hatchback roared onto the scene in the 1980s, promising budget-minded buyers an affordable way to experience the joys of car ownership. The problem? Well, pretty much everything else. The Yugo GV was notorious for its shoddy build quality. Imagine, if you will, a car assembled with the structural integrity of a wet paper bag, and you're starting to get the picture. Panel gaps that could swallow a fist. Doors that closed with the reluctance of a teenager asked to do chores. And interiors that seemed to be crafted from recycled plastic picnicware were just the tip of the iceberg. But the Yugo's woes didn't end with its questionable assembly. Oh no, this car was committed to its role as an automotive nightmare. Reliability, forget about it. The Yugo GV was about as dependable as a weather forecast in a hurricane. Engine problems, electrical gremlins, and transmissions that seemed to have a personal vendetta against shifting smoothly were all par for the course. Owning a Yugo GV wasn't just transportation, it was an adventure in frustration, that is. Imagine this, you're cruising down the road, a sense of impending doom slowly creeping in as you hear a strange rattling sound. You pull over, pop the hood, and discover that the engine has decided to stage a daring escape attempt by attempting to launch itself through the hood. Yep, that was the Yugo GV experience. Next, we have a vehicle that needs no introduction, the Pontiac Aztek. This automotive monstrosity, often cited as one of the ugliest cars ever produced, is a masterclass in how not to design a vehicle. Seriously, where do we even begin? The Aztek looks like it was designed by a committee of people who had never actually seen a car before, working solely from vague descriptions whispered through a broken telephone. It's a mishmash of angles and curves that seem to have been assembled at random, like a child's drawing of a car after a sugar rush. But the Aztek's aesthetic offenses are only part of its story. This car was marketed as an adventure vehicle, which is hilarious because the only adventure you'd have in an Aztek is trying to find someone who actually liked it. It was bulky, handled like a shopping cart full of bowling balls, and had an interior that felt about as spacious and inviting as a prison cell. The Aztek was a commercial flop of epic proportions, and its only lasting legacy is serving as a cautionary tale for automotive designers everywhere. Our next contender is less about questionable design choices and more about a dangerous design flaw. The Ford Pinto, a compact car from the 1970s, gained notoriety for all the wrong reasons. On paper, the Pinto seemed like a good idea, a fuel-efficient, affordable car for the masses. However, there was one major problem, and it was a problem with potentially explosive consequences. You see, the Pinto had a nasty habit of bursting into flames upon rear-end collisions. This wasn't just a rare occurrence either, it happened with alarming frequency. The reason? A design flaw that placed the fuel tank in a vulnerable position behind the rear axle. In the event of a rear-end collision, even at low speeds, the fuel tank could be punctured, leading to a catastrophic fire hazard. Ford, facing mounting pressure and lawsuits, eventually issued a recall, but the damage was done. The Pinto became synonymous with corporate negligence and unsafe vehicles. It's a stark reminder that even the biggest names in the automotive industry can make mistakes with potentially deadly consequences. From a car infamous for its fiery demise, we move on to a car famous for its time-traveling abilities, at least in the movies. The DeLorean DMC-12, with its iconic gull-wing doors and brushed stainless steel body, became a cultural icon thanks to its starring role in the Back to the Future franchise. However, in the real world, the DeLorean's story was far less glamorous. Plagued by production issues, quality control problems, and performance that could best be described as leisurely, the DeLorean DMC-12 was a commercial flop. Imagine this, you've just taken delivery of your brand new DeLorean. You hit the gas, expecting to be thrust back in your seat as you rocket towards 88 miles per hour. Instead, you're met with the anemic groan of the underpowered engine and the sinking feeling that you've made a terrible, terrible mistake. That was the DeLorean experience. Despite its futuristic looks, the DeLorean was, in reality, a bit of a lemon. It's a classic example of style over substance and a reminder that even the coolest-looking cars can be letdowns in the real world. And now we arrive at the bottom of the barrel, the king of clunkers, the champion of questionable automotive engineering, the Trabant. This East German marvel of mediocrity is widely considered to be one of the worst cars ever made, and for good reason. Imagine a car built with a body made of recycled cotton and resin, powered by a two-stroke engine that sounded like a lawnmower having a seizure, and you're starting to get a picture of the Trabant experience. This was a car that looked like it was designed to be driven in a world where style, performance, and basic safety standards were but a distant rumor. But the Trabant's awfulness wasn't just limited to its appearance and performance. Oh no. This car was committed to its role as an automotive nightmare. The Trabant was notoriously unreliable, prone to breakdowns, and had the structural integrity of a wet paper bag. Owning a Trabant wasn't just transportation, it was a statement. A statement that said, "I have given up on life, and this car is a reflection of my despair." In a world of automotive excellence, the Trabant stood alone, a shining example of everything a car shouldn't be. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update on the latest in cars and tech. We had a blast taking a look at some of the worst offenders in automotive history, but now it's your turn. Let us know in the comments below which car you think deserves the title of worst car ever made. We'll be reading through your comments and maybe even featuring some of our favorites in a future video. Until next time, drive safe and avoid these automotive abominations at all costs.